Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
You just have to prove like you have the proof that you're proving that you can prove the proof.
It's divine intervention that God brought you to this podcast today.
Want some pretzels? I put them in a bag myself.
These pretzels are divinely ordered.
The pretzels obsessive.
And this podcast with Jamie Kern-Lima was absolutely car crash. I mean, Jamie Kern-Lima is actually a very successful woman, self-made billionaire. However, she is a fame whore.
Meghan Markle, they've just learned the hardest of lessons, which is, if you start a brawl, do not be surprised if you end up getting punched twice as hard. In fact, South Park has just knocked them out.
And look, South Park is known for satire and for mocking people. No one is safe. This isn't the first time they've done an episode on the royal family, but this particular episode was quite scathing in the grains of truth that it held. And I'm not sure how the Sussexes are taking it. Obviously, it is a cartoon.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet. Yet.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Just can't leave us alone, can you? Oh my God, he's so obsessed with us.
Because, you know, she first found fame by appearing on the first series of Big Brother. She believes that she's the new Oprah Winfrey. And the problem is, you realize these are the types of people Meghan Markle is surrounding herself with. And none of them are prepared to ever give her a dose of reality.
Successful lifestyle brand as ever. We sold out of everything in 45 minutes.
Amazing. You've been working so hard.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard. I work very hard and I'm still working very hard. Just not for the royal family. Yet I still insist on being called Her Royal Highness.
Dan, when you do interviews on your show, do you do the Jamie Kern-Lima reactions? Yes. Oh my God, there's something wrong with her. There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
South Park went after Meghan hard, turning her podcast with Jamie Kern-Lima into a total joke. What she wanted as an inspiring chat looked fake and awkward. And the parody was so spot on, people are now asking if her image can ever recover.
If it's truly what we want, then we really can get away from it all. No more magazines and Netflix shows. We really can live a normal life. Yes, I'm sure you agree, darling. We can be the people we talked about being, with no more worries about how we look or the image we project to people. What matters is what we have.
What do Americans really think of Harry and Meghan? We despise them.
So why did you say yes to doing this show?
Because it's you. And to me, that means...
Are you okay?
Oh, that's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. What's my line? How are you?
I know, you always make it about me.
I do.
So now let's discuss.
Wait. You're supposed to talk about how amazing I am at being a friend to you?
South Park didn't just roast Meghan. They ripped her whole podcast style apart, showing her long pauses, her fake deep affirmations, and her robotic yes. Absolutely moments that felt hollow, not heartfelt. Social media blew up with people saying the parody looked exactly like the real thing. And now everyone is asking if Meghan is really being real or just acting her way through another performance.
Do you think you'll be married forever?
Yes.
I have a letter.
He's also a fox, if you haven't noticed. My husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
Something's up here. See that little shoulder shrug when she said yes?
Yes, yes.
Did you hear how high her voice was when she said yes?
Yes.
When we're stressed, our larynx closes up a little bit and our voice tone gets a little bit higher. That's why the pitch of the yes is so high.
What we're doing here is as, if not more important than solving world hunger.
Wow.
I practiced really hard to come off as genuine.
So did I.
I think it's working.
I do too.
South Park didn't just make fun of the pauses and yes, absolutely lines. They dragged the whole fake vulnerable act. Every sigh and dramatic pause looked scripted, not real. The parody showed big empty speeches that went nowhere, and fans online asked why her stories sound like promos. Not real talks. It felt like she was selling, not sharing, and then South Park pushed the awkwardness into full absurdity.
This woman looks to me like a malignant narcissist. This woman has zero self-awareness.
I love that your eyes are sparkling right now. You know, Meghan, how are you today? Which, by the way, I just have to say, yes.
Enjoy them.
I forgot to have fun. You're right. You're right.
That 2-hour podcast that I just had to sit through with Jamie Keen Lima, who is also very cut off from the rest of the world.
You've had it harder than literally any other person on the planet. Even Jesus, nailed up to the cross, didn't suffer as much as you.
I know.
Just love that this is what the Lord willed me to do with my will, to make another podcast where celebrities can talk about how hard their lives are, not to help people. No.
Even the snacks became a joke when Meghan gave Jamie Kern Lima pretzels. Calling them Divine South Park turned it into a gag. And people online laughed, saying if even pretzels felt staged, then nothing in the podcast was real. And the worst part was still ahead.
I don't care. Don't care.
What the hell?
What did he just say? He victimized me. It's because I'm an ethnic woman.
He can't do that. I'll say, wait, you're ethnic? This is an outrage. There's this horrible spy who lives across the street from us, and we're gonna get him back by changing our brand.
Is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim.
Yeah, that's totally me.
Welcome to the Jamie Kern Lima show.
Her show is unlike any I've ever done.
A revelation. When you listen, it feels like a hug, but your brain and your spirit and your heart is like, wow.
On some other cosmic level with her, I could see the light around her. She's infused with.
Imagine this: Meghan tried to share a touching story about writing nightly emails to her kids, but it felt staged, and South Park turned it into a silly, over-the-top ritual. Instead of touching it, came off fake, and self-serving fans said it looked more like PR than love, and just when people thought it couldn't get worse, the parody kept going.
Can you imagine being Archie or Lilibet and opening this inbox of 6,000 emails when you turn 18? No one wants that, not the children. And also it sets this really unrealistic expectation, which Meghan is so good at doing for other parents.
If I don't have meetings in the morning, then I try to do school drop-off. They're at 2 different schools. So from 6:30 in the morning on drop-off mornings for me, I'm not home till 9.
Her life is so hard because she has to do school drop-offs. And thank God that she's got a live-in nanny basically raising these 2 children. She's trying to sell herself as this wholesome mother who's baking cookies and making tea for the rest of the family.
And this was one of the most, every mother out there will understand. She wants us to put together a fruit crudité board for our children in the morning. Now, look, Maureen.
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
Meghan tried to look real by going makeup-free in the podcast, but South Park twisted it into a joke, showing bare faces like it was some huge achievement. Fans noticed the setup with perfect lighting and hair and called it fake the no makeup move. Felt more like branding than honesty. And instead of making her relatable, it made her look staged and distant. And then the parody got even more cringe as the mess kept spiraling.
But before I go to bed almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
They will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
Because that's really what you want when you're 18. 40,000 emails, Maureen, from your mother.
These emails are so that when my children are of age, they can come to me and say, oh my God, you loved us so much. It's me.
It's divinely ordered how many times we've said I and me. Why did you say yes to this show?
And then you're like, do it. I was like, what? You're like, do it. I was like, what? You're like, do it. And then I was scared.
Yeah.
Yes. Took them out of the box, put them in some other packets, which seems to be Meghan's idea of cooking.
When you were saying, like, do you want to just do like cozies and no makeup? I like the idea of like, okay, great. Let's let them see us.
Nobody talks like that. And nobody acts like that, because that's weird behavior that we're seeing from both of these people if we're supposed to be thinking under the impression that they're being authentic.
South Park then roasted Meghan for stuffing her podcast with buzzwords like growth healing and the power of, yet she used them so often it felt like a script, not a real talk. And the parody made it a joke by ending every line with yet until it sounded. Empty fans online said it felt robotic, fake and hollow instead of deep. People started asking if she was really trying to connect or just chasing clout, and the roast only got harsher as they moved on to her royal image.
She didn't make the Times list of cool people, but she did get invited there because her agency probably bought her access. This is one of the goofiest things ever.
Because I think it speaks to the tiny moments of joy that are so effortless and just create a little bit of magic that we're all craving.
What in the hell word salad is this?
Tiny little flower petals that are dried. I started putting them on salads. I started putting them on scrambled eggs. Level of charm that you find people have when they see these tiny little dried petals is something I can't fully wrap my head around, but I appreciate.
I'm elevating it by putting dried flower petals on all of my food.
She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled. She became a, quote, princess.
I mean, Meghan did claim that before dating Harry, she never Googled him, and she said she didn't know much about the royal family.
It was planned from the beginning. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
Before they met?
Yes.
But as soon as Meghan Markle made it absolutely clear that it was all about the moolah, it was all about the big bucks, it was all about trading off the royal name, but she was lining up these deals when she was still the Duchess of Sussex. She was in talks with Disney, she was in talks with the publishing companies, in talks with Netflix. At that point, the late Queen Elizabeth II, quite rightly in my opinion, said, no, there is no half in, half out. So you can go, you go with our blessing, but you lose everything.
Meghan has always said that, you know, she's got lots of staff around her, and we've heard lots of complaints from lots of people that have worked for Meghan.
So here is how the whole mess blew up. The South Park parody did not just roast Meghan for laughs, it triggered a real shift in how people and companies see her, because once the episode went viral and the clips spread everywhere, insiders started leaking that big names like Paramount and A24 were no longer so excited to work with her. Some projects were quietly paused, some were completely dropped, and that shows this wasn't just a meme moment. It was a career hit, what Meghan thought would be her chance to rebrand with a moving podcast turned into a giant cringe fest that exposed all the flaws people were already whispering. About Hollywood works on reputation, and right now hers is slipping fast instead of being that valuable star with influence. She is being seen as a risk, a liability, someone whose name creates backlash before the work even starts. And online people are saying the things she never wanted to face. Maybe her media career is sinking before it even truly began. South Park might have been the spark, but it was the public reaction that turned the fire into an explosion, and the industry walking away is the clearest sign that the fallout is not temporary. This feels like the start of a much bigger slide that could decide whether Meghan even has a future in entertainment.
Thank you for trusting me with your first ever podcast and with your friendship. Yeah. Means a lot, Jamie. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
And this podcast with Jamie Kern-Lima was absolutely car crash. I mean, Jamie Kern-Lima is actually a very successful woman, self-made billionaire. However, she is a fame whore because, you know, she first found fame by appearing on the first series of Big Brother. She believes that she's the new Oprah Winfrey. And the problem is, you realize these are the types of people Meghan Markle is surrounding herself with. And none of them are prepared to ever give her a dose of reality.
So here's the wild part. South Park didn't just poke fun, they hit on something that made even her biggest critics stop and go, wait, what? Because word got out that Meghan still calls herself Her Royal Highness behind the scenes, even though the title was taken away when she and Harry left the royal family and the parody jumped all over it, showing her clinging to a crown she technically no longer owns. Viewers instantly caught the contradiction. Why walk away from royal life, but still hang on to the prestige of the title? The internet exploded with theories. Some said she never really wanted to leave the monarchy at all. Others argued it was all about power and leverage. South Park made it clear it wasn't tradition she was holding. Onto it was control. The double standard between her public claims and private behavior felt glaring to fans who said this confirmed what they already suspected, that the royal exit was more about optics than truth. And the reaction was brutal. Critics piled on, accusing her of wanting perks without the duty. And just as the parody delivered that sting, the backlash jumped out of satire and started hitting her image in the real world.
She's allegedly wearing no makeup. Meanwhile, she's got like the perfect blowout. Like she's completely camera ready. And she also is pretending that she's crying. There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
During promotion for Suits, she was joking with one of the photographers that she can cry on command. Left eye, go. And then you watch a tear fall down her face, and then she starts cackling because she's so proud of herself.
She has this really famous thing where she says one tap left eye and she can make herself cry on demand.
You haven't seen any of the questions ahead of time, and we're in our sweats, and you look the exact same with no makeup as makeup, and we're
that's very
It's just another lie from Meghan where she's told us one thing about this wholesome family life that she's got, but really it's staff behind the scenes that are upholding this entire image for this woman.
It gets even wilder because South Park wasn't just making jokes. They were dragging out the bigger truth by copying her tone. The long pauses, the fake deep looks they held up a mirror, and showed everyone that what Meghan tried to sell as honesty and empowerment was really just polished branding, dressed up to look raw and real. Every buzzword, every sigh, every staged pause felt too rehearsed, and people were over it. Fans even said the parody felt more real than her actual podcast, which is the cruel irony when your so-called truth feels like a performance. No one buys it anymore, and the fallout was massive. Critics called it a turning point, saying her media strategy finally blew up in her face. Fans who once defended her now saw her as hollow and inauthentic, and the noise only got louder. South Park may have used comedy, but the message stung hard. Authenticity matters, and Meghan's show became the perfect example of how fast you lose credibility when it feels fake. And the scariest part was that the damage went much deeper than anyone expected.
Now, there is no doubt about it that Meghan Markle's viral video created a new negative wave of backlash against her that resulted in many other studios actually deciding to put any kind of affiliation with her either to a halt or firing her directly. That's exactly what happened with both Paramount and A20.
Usually when we're together, we're in our cozy sweats and no makeup. So that's how we are today. No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything's yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet. Yet. Yet.
But I'm happy. I'm happy, and the kids are healthy, and H is great, but I'm trying to also enjoy these big wins right now.
Yes.
Enjoy them.
Yeah, she's a princess too, and Harry is slaying dragons to rescue her.
You know, look what we built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers when you get to the final level. And what's the goal in Super Mario? They're like, slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband.
Who's Harry rescuing her from? The family she abandoned before making him abandon his?
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us. She's using it in private with her friends. That's even weirder than if they were still trying to milk the titles in public. That is just like all the confirmation that I need that this woman is just obsessed with being a royal, that is all this was all about. That she's angry that she screwed the pooch by claiming racism and basically getting kicked out of the family. She just can't give up the HRH titles that quickly. Like, this is literally what she has always wanted.
40 minutes into the podcast, this little picture, quite a grainy picture, flashed up, which shows a basket of, homemade preserves with a card on it, HRH, Duchess of Sussex, Meghan.
You dropped off this gift basket with ice creams, homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream.
I find it a little bit cringe to give a gift to a close friend and sign it Her Royal Highness.
Why even in private? She's using that full title, Her Royal Highness.
I would never refer to myself as Her Royal Highness.
They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends.
South Park didn't just clown on Meghan for laughs. They kind of ripped the mask off and showed how badly her big authenticity play backfired. Because think about it, everything that was supposed to feel deep ended up looking staged like the divine. Pretzels that got turned into a running gag. The no makeup reveal that felt like a branding move. The buzzwords that lost all meaning, and the royal title obsession that made her look power-hungry. And the crazy part is South Park didn't even have to exaggerate much. They just held up a mirror and it was already cringe. And now the fallout is real because studios are quietly stepping back. Fans are saying she feels more like a character than a person, and critics are pointing out that the more she pushes her truth, the more people stop believing it. So the big question is hanging in the air. Can she actually rebuild her credibility? Or did South Park just expose the one flaw that her whole image can't survive?